Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Very happy hello to you all. We are Thursday the 19th of October and we are midday. So it's time for my weekly Thursday lunch club. I hope you've all had a very good week. It's been a great week here. We've had a load of rain, so the garden looks good. We've had some really lovely 11 plus results here for my daughter. And it's the last week of term, so this smile is actually genuine. Can't wait to switch off tomorrow for a whole week and spend the week with my lovely girls. It's also been the week. We also had my craft retreat at the weekend, which was just amazing. I had the best few days with the best group of people. So I'll fill you in a little bit more about that this morning. But how is everybody else? Do say hello as you join. Do let me know how your week's gone. And if you're okay. I'm having a really bad hair day. Never mind. So hello to Denise. Hello to Sophie. And hello to Caroline. Caroline, we missed you at the weekend. So I will share with you first. I'm going to show the projects that I made for the retreat. So I'm going to show those to you first. And then I'm going to make a couple of little gift bags. They're just some templates. I've used really old DSP, so I'll make them in current DSP, but DSP is great. If you've got DSP that you run out or that retires or you don't like it anymore, just keep it because it's great for making samples up with. I think I've gone through about 9 sheets of old DSP today that I've scored wrong. It's just gone in the bin. So it could be a lot worse. It could have been current DSP that I really love. So I'm going to show you 2 little gift bag tutorials today. Both of these have been made with sheets of 12 by 12. So 2 sheets of 12 by 12 will make both of these gift bags. With this one, it's got quite a sturdy base. So you will need some cardstock. And then if you are watching on replay, all the measurements will be in the YouTube video. If you're watching live, do make a note of them as we go along. So let me stop waffling and I will move over to my desk where I will show you the projects from the weekend. So, oh bless you, Denise. Hair looks gorgeous always. It really doesn't feel like it at the moment. So people got lots of goodies in their bags, which was really, really lovely to give lots of product away or include lots of product in my retreat. So these projects here are what kept people going for the whole weekend. There was a little bonus project for my Sunday attendees, but this is what kept us going. So I'll start with this one. As you know, if you follow me for a little while, I absolutely adore the deckled circle dies, which are these ones here. They are a fabulous set of dies, and the biggest circle is this one. And you may have seen me create a couple of circular cards over recent weeks, so I couldn't not include a circular card. So this is the first one. I mean, that's the size of my hand, so it's a really great shape, great size card. If we just measure it, that is almost 6 inches across, so fabulous. I've used the Joy of Christmas suite for this one, and I've added in layers of dies cut with all different shades of green card. We've got some gold embossing and we've got some gold glitter paper. There's also a bit of stamping in the background. And one of my ladies, the lovely Lynn, she cut her letters out of this gold paper and it looked beautiful. Really, really nice. Lots of people copied Lynn, which is really, really lovely. Then I have this giant square card. This is again with the same suite of products, the Joy of Christmas suite. And again, I've just shown some layering techniques there. I've used this new vanilla and black ribbon, which is just lovely. There was also lots of metallic heat embossing as well throughout the weekend, to the point where we ran out of gold embossing powder. Can you believe that? And then inside, there's a little bit of detail there. So that was project number 1. There was lots going on with those 2 cards. So it was really nice to see people spending a bit of time over it, taking a bit of care, and lots of people sort of switched out some sentiments or did something a little bit different, which was really lovely to see. Okay, next up, I used the Merry and Bright bundle. and a few other little bits. And I made this little card. I love the light bulbs. I also love the designer series paper in this as well. So this card opens like this, and it stands like that. So it's a little bit of a take on the reverse seagull card, in that we've got this extra little section in the middle so that you can attach your die, and it just pops out like that. So it's really, really nice. That went down really well. Lots of people enjoyed their light bulbs. I've just realised how funny. I haven't actually stamped the filament on that one. And I've just noticed, I must have been looking at this card for months as well. So that is card number 2. And let me just fold that back in. In the same set of cards, I couldn't not take my little festive friends along as well. As you all know, I adore colouring. So I had to feature this cute little giraffe who's decorating his Christmas tree. And this is, again, a simple fancy fold. But what I did with this one, again, I used those decal circles. They did feature on lots of the cards throughout the weekend. I created a little hidden panel just by layering up the circles. So that one looks like that. I also absolutely love this Fa La 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 paper as well. So that's card number 3. I couldn't not case this one out of the catalogue, and this is just playing around with the sentiments. So layering them up so that you put them on your card to create a Christmas tree pattern. Really like that one. Oh, jealous of your retreat, ladies. Oh, Kylie, I'd love to craft with you. So that's card number 5. This one was my favourite of the whole weekend. Now, I wasn't sure on this bundle, on this suite, when I first saw it, but it's really, really grown on me. This is it's the Meadow something or other. Meadow Medley. No, I'm telling a fib now. Let's have a look. What was it called? The Winter Meadow. I thought it had winter in it, but never mind. This is the Winter Meadow bundle, and I have used just 3 colours, or 4 if you count the silver. I've used Smoky Slate, Blackberry Bliss, and Moody Mauve as my colour palette. And I absolutely love the detail there. In the background, I've got the dyes that have been used, and then this lovely ribbon, and it goes really, really well with that beautiful silver paper as well. I saw lots of people stamping lots of this, so I think this one was popular. Now, for those of you that don't know me, or those of you that don't know, I absolutely love a Christmas ornament, and one of my traditions in this house is I love a ball with the year on it. So I created a little decoration, little tree decoration, little hanging decoration with the same pattern. I've added, may this season of sparkle bring joy and delight. And then on the back, I've added the year. Now, believe it or not, this little hanging decoration was made with a beer mat. So when you're out on your travels and you see a little beer mat, pop it in your bag, if you're allowed, of course. Or do ask the bartender if you can take them away with you. I actually bought these in bulk from my local pub. I bought a whole pack of them, which was quite nice of them. So I've just covered the beer mat with a little bit of card, and that's my hanging ornament. And then, of course, to bring the set together, we've got a tag. So I absolutely love that project there. I do love the Memories and More cards and envelopes. So people were given a whole pack of the cards and a whole pack of the cards and envelopes, or half because there was a boo-boo with the delivery. And as well as making some cards, which were very, very simple, I put this little mini album together. So in this little mini album, we open it up. And it's this lovely blue sparkly ribbon, which is really lovely. If we open it up, it is a little mini album. Now I've put this together using the envelopes. So the envelopes are my pages, like so. And my extra pages in the pockets are the cards that I've stuck together. Now, I won't bore you with all of this, but I've just added some photos, some of the stickers. I did cut out some of the designer series paper that I had from a previous kit. And that was a little mini album that people can make. Now, one of my ladies, again, Lynn, she's got all the ideas. She thought this would be a really nice gift to give away if you put some recipe cards in there or some little recipe sheets. So that is my little mini album. And that is basically our projects we made across the weekend. So people went home with a lovely bundle. They also had more than they needed in their kits. So lots of people carried on stamping and die cutting. And it was great to see people using my projects as kind of a starting point, but to then use their own creativity. I did make one card across the weekend on the Saturday. It took me 5 hours to make this card. I put this one together using those lovely masks that just seem to be everywhere at the moment. It's like Harry Potter. So this is just all the colours I threw at this card, and then I brought it together with a little bit of heat embossing. So that's the card that I made at the weekend. I will share that on my blog very, very shortly. So let's have a little sip of tea, and then we'll get making. So I'm going to share with you today 2 gift bag designs. This is the first one that I'm going to share with you. So it's got a nice sturdy bottom that's been created from cardstock, and then it opens up. Take the ribbon out, and it's actually a good size. You could definitely get some socks in there, some smellies, some bath bombs, some maybe little pots of maybe some alcohol if you're lucky. And this is a take on something that a friend of mine created many, many, many years ago. I want to say about 7 years ago. And they were just everywhere. So I've sort of adapted it a bit. So that is the first one we're going to make. And the second one is just a very, very straightforward gift bag. And this can be adapted for height and the base, depending on your measurements. Okay. So that is the second one we're going to make. So you're going to need a couple of pieces of designer series paper. I've got this lovely piece from the Walk in the Forest suite, and then I have this one from Merry & Bright. Now you do need to be mindful of direction, and I'll talk you through that very shortly. So if you do have a directional paper, both of these will work. You just need to obviously cut it correctly. I have done that a couple of times today where I've not cut it correctly. And then this one here, again, directional paper is absolutely fine. You just need to be mindful. So this green at the top is, oh, my camera's just gone for me. On my back. This green at the top is obviously the other side. So if the other side is directional, you will obviously need to make sure your pattern is still up the right way. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use this one to kick us off. So you need to be mindful of your direction. We're going to cut this first. Cutting blade has just come out. So we're going to cut this really straightforward. We're going to turn it on its side so that the paper is, sorry, the pattern is not up the right way. You want to basically create 2 pieces of DSP that we're going to stick together like that. So this is going to be our first section. This is going to be our second. So as long as your DSP is on its side, you're absolutely fine. So just line that up at 6 inches and cut. Now, one of these pieces we need to trim down. And I will cut that down afterwards. So we're going to start with this first piece that is 12 by 6. And I'm going to use my scoring, simply scored scoring tool for this. You can use your trimmer, but I find when you're doing 3D items, this simply scored scoring tool is just a little bit more straightforward. Now, because it is a 12 by 12 piece of card, my brain is going to work in inches, okay? So where is my score tool? Here it is. Right. So you're going to make a couple of score lines. So first of all, you're going to cut it, sorry, you're going to score it at 1/2 inch, at 2.5 inches, and at 9 inches. Now, I really hope this is correct because I did make a boo-boo earlier. And if I made a boo-boo earlier, I do apologise. So that's 2. And that's 2. No, I've done the right score measurement. So just give your creases just a nice little fold. I'm going to burnish these properly with a bone folder shortly. So this effectively is one side of our box, well, the front of our box, our bag, the 2 sides, and then we've got a little fold at the end. Oh, I don't think that's right. No, that is right. 2. Gosh, my poor brain. Right. So it's not quite right. You need to make sure that this panel here and this panel here are the same size. So I have got that one there that is 2 inches, and this one is 2 1/4. So I'm just going to trim that off by 1/4 inch, and that's fine. So now it did look a bit bigger. That one is 2 inches, and that one is 2 inches. Perfect. So I can put that piece to one side. Now I'm going to bring in the next piece, and what I need to cut now, what I need to score now, is I need to score the panel for the front, okay? And we will also need this little side panel. So we're going to score at 1/2 inch all the way down. And then rather than scoring the next bit, we're going to cut it, okay? So I'm really not doing very well with this tutorial, and this just goes to show how often I do tutorials like this. My brain doesn't work with 3D items at all, but someone said, please do a tutorial. So that little measurement there, the front of our bag, is 6.5. So we need to trim this down to 7 inches because we've got this little panel on the end that is 1/2 inch. So that is my scoring for the moment all done. Okay. Give me a card any day. So let's give this a nice little crease. And again, a nice little crease. So what you need to do now is you need to join this seam here with this edge, like so. And I inherited this lovely reel of tape at the weekend, which is really good because I have run out of double-sided. So I'm going to put my tape on that little panel. Oh, it's warming here. My heater is definitely working its magic. Now I remember why I don't buy this red tape, because I end up in such a mess. Right, so that is going to be stuck to here. There we go. So what you have now is you have a really long piece of DSP that in theory is going to become your bag like that. But you don't want to stick this bit together, because what we need to do next is we need to do the bottom of our box. Okay. So let's grab a little bit of DSP, shall we? So I've got here a little bit of navy blue DSP, which I think is actually, let's get Pretty Peacock. Pretty Peacock, it's really nice. So I have some scrap Pretty Peacock card. Now we know that the length of our front of our bag is 6.5 inches. So what we need to do is we need to create a little tray. So we need to add on 1/2 inch to both sides. So I need to cut a piece that is 7.5 inches by, and this is the width is 2 inches by 3 inches. So let's do that. Let's cut a piece that is 3 inches. Oops. 3 inches by 7.5 as my measurement, isn't it? 7.5 inches. Right, and now I'm going to bring my scoring tool back in. Thank goodness for a long desk. And I'm going to score now at 1/2 inch from both ends. So that's at 1/2 inch and at 7.5 inches, 7 inches. Turn it round and score it at 2.5 inches and 1/2 inch. So what you're left with there is a little tray that we're going to make. So let me put this to one side. I'm already regretting these bags. So I'm going to cut now, and I'm going to cut up this first score line. So I want to cut this bit. So I'm going to cut up to that first score line, and then I'm going to turn it, and I'm just going to keep turning it. Okay, and then I'm going to notch into each one of these to create a little angled tab. I find this just makes the whole thing a little bit neater. Okay, so now I have something that looks like that. I'm going to just crease all my score lines. Now, I would definitely recommend not using liquid glue for something like this, because you're going to end up in a little bit of a sticky spot. So we now need to add these together. So what you're going to do, this line here is a straight line, and this line here is a straight line. You're going to match your straight lines up. Okay. So I am going to put just a little bit of this double-sided on here. Now I'm doing all of this because I have a meeting that starts at 1 o'clock. So we've got 36 minutes. So now let's peel off that red backing. And then you're lining up this straight edge with the straight scored edge. So you end up with the little tab sitting inside your tray. And when you want to do that to all 4 of your tabs. Okay. So because you've not used DSP as well, this will reinforce the base of your box because it's a little bit sturdier. So if you did want to put something in it that's a little bit heavier, this will do the trick. Right, so you now have your little tray, and the idea is we're going to wrap this around our tray. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my tape all the way along the bottom, making sure my trees are up the right way on the other side. Oh, this is why I don't use this red tape. Goodness. Never buy red tape. I'm only using this because I've acquired it. So if anyone lost a reel of red tape at the weekend, do let me know and I will replace it. I'm just putting that all the way along the bottom of my bag. And I'm going to peel it off. Oh, don't worry, Sandra. I hope you're all right. I was going to email you today, actually, just to say, did you get the email about the 40th birthday prize? If you didn't get it, let me know and I will resend it. So what you're going to do is you want to start. Let me just get this right in my head. You want to start this end because you want to make sure this little flap tucks inside your box. Okay, so I'm going to start just lining that up. So I'm lining the bottom of my tray up with the bottom of my designer series paper, and then you're just going to follow it all the way around. And then what happens is, before you stick that on, you need to put your tape along here, or whatever you are using. Oh, that's it, the heater's gone off now. It's nice and cozy in here. Let's peel off that back. Okay, I've done it. Right, so now just follow that along with the bottom of the box, some of the tray, and then you're going to stick that down. And there you have it. There you have your little goodie bag. I won't today, Baz. No, I've got a meeting that starts at 1 o'clock and I've got to go straight onto that. So last week of term is incredibly busy. So here, what I'm going to do is to create my little fold, my little secure. I'm going to, oh, Sandra, okay, no worries. I will send it over to you. It's my team email. So I'm going to just force that together and stick it like so. Okay. So then you have your nice little gift bag. Now you could, if you wanted to, just fold it over and secure it, but I'm going to show you how I created a little banner for that. So you want one of these dies here. These are the Countryside Corner dies, and they look like this. So I am going to just cut one of these out. Cut it out with my little die machine over here. So I have my die piece that looks like this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in half. Okay, now you can score it if you want to be really precise. I'm just going to fold it over so that both ends meet. Okay. So creating our little clothes. Now I'm going to put some glue on one side. Like so. And then decide which is the front of my bag. Now what I'm going to have is the front of my bag is that bit there. So you can't see any closures. You can't see any of the joins. So tuck that over the top. You want your glued part to be at the back. Okay, so just line that up so it's in the center, and then hold that Okay, Buzz, I'll have a look at that for you. I think you've unsubscribed to my mailing list, which is why all my emails are bouncing back from you. So just have a look at that. You might want to resubscribe. Okay, so here we have like that. So that's the closure of my bag. Now all we have to do, we need to do some little punches. So this is a crocodile. I've had this for probably about 20 years and it's so useful. And I'm just pushing that in to the bag and I'm repeating this side so that it is the same distance apart, like so. And then I want a little bit of ribbon. I'm going to use this. This is quite nice, this ribbon. This one. I'm going to push that through the loops, through the holes. And the same this side. And then tie myself a nice little bow. Now you could put a little tag on this if you wanted to. My bigger scissors. No, I'll use these ones, it's fine. There we go. So that is my little gift bag version 1. Okay, we'll pick up with it afterwards, but I'm snowed under this afternoon and I've got a meeting from 9 till 4 tomorrow, so I will probably give you a call early next week. Okay. Right, so there we have that goodie bag. Now, next we have this one here. This one is a little bit more straightforward, I hope, because we're not cutting the DSP. So this one here, we are going to use a whole sheet of 12 by 12 for this. And I am going to put my trimmer to one side because I don't need that one. It's this one here that I need. Okay, so you don't need to be, well, you do need to be mindful of direction on this one, because if your paper is facing a certain way, obviously you wouldn't want your pattern to be upside down. Now I've gone for a piece of paper that is definitely not directional, or it is directional actually, because it needs to be that way or that way. I don't want my trees laying down, do I? And then I've got this lovely stripe over the back as well. Now I'm going to score my vertical score lines to start us off, okay? And so I've got my paper in my scoring, simply scored up the right way, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. And you don't want to press too hard with your scoring tool because you don't want to go through the paper. 2 1/4 inches. 6 1/4 inches. And 8 inches. Okay. Now you're going to turn it over. You're going to lay it on its side, and you want to now score the bottom part and this top part. So I believe they're both 1 3/4 inches. Yep, they are. So I'm going to score 1 3/4 inches on the left, and then I'm going to turn it completely around the other way, so it's still lying down, and I'm going to do 1 3/4 inches on the left again. Now that is all your scoring done. Okay, so I am going to give all of my score lines a really nice crease. Creasing is, to crease your score lines well, is the best advice I can give you when you're making something like this, because you want to make sure they're nice and crisp. And that's why you don't want to push too hard when you use your scoring tool, because you don't want to pierce the paper. So what you have here is you have your little panel here that you're going to use to attach your bag. Then you have something that looks like that. So you're basically creating a tube, okay? But before we do that, we need to fold the top over. Now, depending on how tall you wanted the bag, and depending if you wanted this pattern to show in the middle, if you didn't want it to show, you would basically fold it over and then put your bag together, okay? It's entirely up to you which way you want it to be. Okay, so now you need to cut a few little bits out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to notch into this bottom section. So I'm basically cutting out that bottom corner, and then in each line, rather than cutting on the score line, you're going to just trim in at an angle. So you're basically creating little triangles with your score line in the centre. And this is going to make sure that when you put your bag together, it's just going to look a little bit neater. You won't have edges overhanging, and you'll get a nice seamless kind of join. So there we have the bottom. So I need to decide now if I want my pattern over the top. I actually do think I quite like that, you know. That's quite nice. Now, what else you want to do is you want to put your tear and tape or your double-sided along this panel here. So with the inside facing outwards, you want to put your double-sided along that seam. So peel it off, and then you're going to bring your other side over and you're going to join those two edges without getting your hand stuck to the double-sided. So that has created my tube, although what I've not done is I've not folded that over. Just peel that back. It's not going to peel, is it? So I'm going to push that inside now. I told you this is why I don't do 3D things. Right, so if you do what I do, and you've stuck it down, just fold it into itself, and then it looks rather nice. Now, when it comes to the bottom of your box, you want to find out where your seam is. So my join is here. So this is going to be the back of my box, my bag, okay? So I'm going to fold these two panels in and put my glue on. I'm using wet glue. And then I'm going to fold this next one in. This is the back, so I'm folding the back one in. Adding myself some glue, and then I'm folding this bottom one up. And just hold it in place for just a second or two. Stand it up, and then take something that's got a solid bottom and just pop it in the bottom to really make sure that it's glued. So by tabbing into your edges, your panels, you get a really nice neat base. And at the top, we're just going to do what we did before. We're going to push our fingers into the edges and fold. Okay, so that is our gift bag. Now you can either punch yourself some holes in, and you can add yourself some handles, or you can, now we can all pick up little pegs from somewhere, can't we? Walk around and things like that. Now I have these that are really old, but I love them, and I'm running low, so I can't use too many. I've got these little clips, so I'm just going to clip the top so it looks like that, and then I'm going to make me a little tag. So on my desk I have these little lovelies, and I'm just going to finish drawing around them because I didn't do that, or hadn't finished doing that earlier. So I'm just going to draw around my dies. These are the Sending Cheer dies, and these go with the lovely Sending Cheer stamp set. I'm going to create a little tag with these once I finish drawing them. I've got this little trio here, that's for the holly. I've got the heart, another heart, and I've got this holly up here. So I'm not going to do any stamping, I'm just going to do a little bit of diking. I'm just conscious of time. I don't really want to leave myself with not a lot of time to prepare. So let's have one of these. I'm going to cut that out of that one. So I have this one here, and then I want this nice little detail. So I'm just going to cut that out with some lemon lime twist. Where's it going? Here it is. Okay, so I have this little detail here, which I can stick on. And then I'm going to use the Tailor Made tag dies and just cut me a little tag. Oops. I'm going to cut that from white card. I've got me a little tag. I can put that on there. Where is my Sending Smart? My Sending Christmas set. I think it's still in my box. So let's have. Should have put all my Christmas stamps in one area, shouldn't I? This one. Let's have this one. Let's have Merry Christmas. Well, that's quite cute. Santa was here. Now let's do this instead. Stamp in Sweet Sorbet. So let's stamp Christmas onto here. something on it here. That's better. Okay, let's trim those down a bit. Merry and then Christmas. Turn it up the right way, we might get somewhere, Stacey. So we've got Christmas and then we've got Merry. So there is my little tag. That looks quite cute on that box, doesn't it? And I want a little bit of ribbon. So I have here, this is from the Zoo Crew Suite, or Zany Zoo, whichever one it's called. I'll just put that through there. And there we have. That is my last gift bag, all done. So that's 2 gift bags. We got them in the end. Let me just move these guys out the way so we can see what's what. So we have this gift bag and we have this gift bag. So I will put the measurements up on my YouTube channel in about an hour and a half when I finish my next meeting. And if you have any questions about anything I've done, any of the products I've used, please do reach out. If you have any questions, do pop them in the comments and I will come back to you. And as always, everything I've used can be purchased from my online store and you can find that at staceymarsh.co.uk. So that's it for me today. I won't be live next week because it is half term here, yippee, and I always take half term off. The joys of working in a school. So I'll be live again the week after. I want to say it's either the 2nd or 3rd of November. And look out for that week details of what to bring with you for my next Thursday Lunch Club. Have a lovely, lovely weekend. Stay safe in the storms, everybody that are coming over the weekend. And I look forward to speaking to you all soon.